Updates.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
We will do it live. Because that is our only choice. He says, no, there's other choices. We could do other things. Are we live now?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Let's see, we're just doing a generic Let's Live play. This is fine. Moderation activities now. Okay. Oh, very exciting. I'm just tapping away, doing all the whoring.
Okay.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. What are you doing?
Good. This is good. It's been nice actually having a more chilled weekend, to be honest.
That's good. That's good.
I'm happy to have finished that RPG though. I'll be honest, because I kept finding my days a little interrupted there, that I wasn't planning on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? I really enjoyed it. It's a shame we don't record those, to be honest. But I don't know how thrilling our unorganised actual plays of those would be.
Looks like we have our first viewers. Welcome, White Abaddon, Calum, and Zachary Rice. White Abaddon says, might play Dead Space 2 with this in the background. Well, you should, because Dead Space 2 is awesome.
Adam will always advocate for Dead. Yeah, you just sent me the.
And
the
Aaron
books.
will always never play it.
I
He'll be like, I'm going to someday.
The remake.
And it just won't happen.
To be fair, I've got a £50 voucher for Amazon. Not £50. I've got a £100 voucher for Amazon. I could finally buy it. Maybe that's what I will do later.
See, Dead Space 2, like, even playing the remake fits in with Dead Space 2 and 3. And Dead Space 2 holds up better than the original 2008 game, I would say.
As in, I could jump straight onto
Dead Space 2, and yeah, it'd feel like it's
fluid.
Still, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Isaac will look a little different because they changed the look of Isaac in the new one to be more like his. See, they had someone do the face in the original, and he didn't speak at all in the original. But the guy who did like all the voice, like the grunts and screams and stuff, he was the voice actor for 2 and 3, and they gradually kind of shifted more to his look. And then in the new one, they were like, screw it, we'll just do Gunnar Wright is Isaac now fully.
So it's kind of like the situation that happened with Amanda Ripley. Different mocap, different voice actress.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done. I'm booting up the game. And let's get some hunting going.
Cool. I will. Okay. Folks should be able to see the game now, I think.
Here we go. Alright.
And let me shoot you an invite.
Yep.
You posted that we were streaming on our Discord too, right?
No, I forgot. I shall do that.
Do it now.
I forget we're actually getting a nice little Discord community going.
Zachary Rice says, I've been glad to see a lot more people engaging with the live streams. Yeah, we've been glad to see that as well. I guess consistency is just key, because we've been fairly consistent about the live streams. I mean, we'll miss a weekend here and there, but
Yeah.
for the most part, last year I think we were pretty on it with the
Yeah,
live
we did.
streams.
Yeah, we did pretty good. Yeah, it was good. It was nice. I mean, only times we'll generally miss it is if one of us is ill, or we have to do a podcast on that day instead, which was the case for the 2 we were going to miss this month. Did we end up missing 2 this month?
Maybe.
We missed last week. We missed last week because I was ill. But oh man, my voice sounded so rough. I'm ready, by the way. Hamin, you can start us going.
Okay.
Yeah, my voice was so rough last week.
Let me turn the volume up a little bit so people can hear some of the gameplay.
White-
Not the music though.
Whiteban says, I finished Enemy of My Enemy, started and finished on day of release. As someone who hasn't played the RPG but is aware of the lore, I was really happy with the book on that front. So my copy just arrived today, actually. Probably not going to get to it for a couple of weeks because we're about to start rereading.
Vasquez.
But I'm about to start rereading Vasquez in preparation for an upcoming podcast. And I really should get back to writing reviews as well.
You should. What happened to your written reviews, man? You did some good ones of books.
Oh, it was just because I got so disheartened with a lot of the releases last year. It's the general rule of thumb. If I haven't written a review on it, I probably didn't really like it that much. Because I don't really enjoy writing bad reviews, I'll be honest. But no, I need to get back into it. I tried to have a little break and I started reading book 7 of The Expanse. About halfway through it, but I know I'm going to have to stop now to start reading Vasquez to catch up in time for our recording. So I'll be starting to listen to that one in the car now and reading it. I you know what? As much as I'm like to you, why don't you just read the damn books? I do like having the options to listen to them in the car for a second read.
Mm-hmm.
And because it gets me through them faster.
Wyatt Baden says, Dead Space 2 Severed was also a brilliant DLC. Definitely feels more survival horror than the base game. Severed was good. It was pretty short. I mean, it was interesting to see Gabe Weller back. Aaron, there was a Dead Space prequel called Extraction on the Wii, and then later on the PS3. And for the Dead Space 2 DLC, one of the main characters of that stars in the Dead Space 2 DLC.
Cool.
But for me, Dead Space 2 was like the Aliens of the franchise. Like, perfect blend between horror and action, whereas Dead Space 3 just went too off the rails. And the story was a little silly.
Gradan says, just hopping in quickly to say hi, gentlemen. Can't wait for Armageddon review. Yeah, Armageddon will be our next one. I'm about halfway through my first pass of that edit. So it shouldn't be too long.
Yeah, those books were really interesting.
White Band says, also, I finished Vasquez recently. I enjoyed it, but there were some things I wasn't too keen on, like the continued use of exclusively modern-day pop culture and similar things. Seems like nothing new is coming out in the future. Well, separate comment there. Yeah, that was one of the things I really didn't like about Vasquez, was it didn't really feel like Aliens, because of a lot of the use of the language. But also, in regards to that last comment, seems like nothing new is coming out in the future. But yeah, there's nothing in Enemy of My Enemy, and no new book being spoiled, no new title. I mean, we do know that they were soliciting pictures still, so we know they were open to making more, but no, it doesn't look like we have any official announcements.
Be interesting to see if Disney also switches from Titan for the books. I believe Disney has their own more adult publishing arm now. I can't remember what it's called. Something Street or Avenue. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember that one either. Because that one came out of nowhere recently, didn't it? Or relatively recently.
Just the fact that they had an adult publishing arm, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit. I don't know where this predator is. That's not good.
Is there? I've tagged him. I was only a bot anyway.
Yeah.
I'm on the objective. Anthony says that rifle is so much fun to use. Are you using the plasma rifle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot to put a scope on it though, I think. Well, actually no, because I'm doing like my duelist scout build, so the plasma rifle, it's actually one of the quickest ways to take down AI in this game. So
Of us.
it's mostly used for that. For the predator, I have this the Grim Tech pistol.
You're doing the snipe, the meta snipe pistol build. Sorry.
Yeah, this thing is way more vicious than it has any right to be.
That said, the plasma rifle is one of my favorite human additions to the lore. You know, it's exactly the kind of thing I want to see being done in the comics, in the books, in the films.
You fall behind, you're on your own. Anthony Petro, welcome to the stream. Says that rifle is so much fun to use, one of the best in the game. They destroy the AI for sure.
I'd love a replica of one, you know.
Yeah, I noticed recently online someone had posted 3D printer files for the pulse rifle from Fireteam Elite, and I was very tempted to have that commissioned. Yeah, exactly. I would have talked to them about it because they did such a good job with Feral Predator mask for me. Man, my voice is hoarse this morning. I don't know what it is.
Are you starting to...
I don't think so. Sometimes I just have a groggy voice, you know. Sunday mornings, I sleep in.
I thought that was every day.
No, believe it or not, it's not every day. You bastard.
I was just pretty worn down from work. Zachary Rice says, I'd like to see a true Alien RPG video game. Now, I've got to say, everything I know about Crucible, I'm not interested in.
Get him, get him, get him!
Oh, okay. I'm going to the thing. Of course it's up there. Where's the elevator?
Right in front of you.
Come on, come on.
You might want to get mudded up. Well, I guess it's already here. Never mind.
Makes no difference, does it? What did you think about Crucible then?
I mean, I lamented it not happening. I really liked Obsidian's game Knights of the Old Republic 2, so it's one of those things where it's like we've never gotten a Alien RPG video game before, so that would have been nice to see. And watching all the footage of that came out,
Damn it.
Makes me wish it had happened.
You see, that's the thing. I wasn't really keen on the footage, I'll be honest. Didn't look massively interesting to me.
Well,
but then again, I'll always give everything a go. You know, if they did do an Alien RPG, if Crucible had have come out, I'd have been all over it.
Paul says, this looks great. Pity it's not on Xbox One. I mean, yeah, it would be nice for it to be fully multi-platform, but I think Sony fronted the money for this one, so.
Zachary Rice says, or even a Dead Space type game. I assume that's referring to Alien. To which Caleb says, we might well be later this year. Yes, it was one of what's his face's
Tom Henderson. Yeah.
Tom Henderson's claims, wasn't it? Yeah. Although we've not heard anything on that one, but we also haven't heard anything further on Dark Descent or Cerberus's game. Yeah. I really wish they'd hurry up and give us more info on Dark Descent, because I'm so damn curious about what that game is going to be like. I can't change my bloody loadout.
It seems like all gaming news is essentially like spring and summer, and then gaming releases are like fall and early in the year. At least the majority of it. I mean, I know we just had a PlayStation State of Play, so you have your exceptions, but seems like all the juicy gaming news drops around then.
White Band says, I would hope we get more Alien-themed games and a few less Aliens ones. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things I'm really curious about with the Cerberus one. It's something I've said very often to anybody who'll talk to me. You know, that Alien needs a game built from the ground up for VR in mind, because it would suit VR so much to do an Alien styled thing. You know, the terror that thing can elicit. I mean, Jesus Christ, even just trying to play the aftermarket, modded VR for Isolation is enough to get the heart going.
Well, that was
I mean, even playing it without VR is enough to get the heart going. Jesus Christ.
That was one of Tom Henderson's rumors, is that Creative Assembly is pitching Alien Isolation.
Was it you who sent me the link to the new...
Yeah, they had something that they were hiring for a new project, and it was the team behind Isolation, so I was like, oh, yes, please. And that's the thing, like, you look at how successful the Dead Space remake has been. Top-selling new game in January. That wasn't Call of Duty. When Resident Evil 4 comes out, that game is going to do super well. Same with Silent Hill 2. So I think all these high-profile horror games are,
They're all remakes, though.
That's true, but publishers follow trends, and...
Yeah, but do you want...
You also have Alan Wake 2 coming. There's a lot of excitement for that one. So I wouldn't be surprised with Isolation sequel, honestly, at this point. It feels like that may be where they're headed.
It's just the way it's swinging back around.
Because Isolation has developed a reputation over time. Like, you look up any of the best horror games of all time, and it's near the top of the list.
It always was well regarded, though. I think it was just Sega's ridiculous expectations.
Yeah. I think it was more well regarded over time. People appreciated it more. Maybe you can blame that on IGN.
Yeah, well, I mean, weren't there like just 2 bad reviews for Isolation, one of which was IGN's?
Yeah, and I see that on Twitter sometimes. People are like, even though it was initially like not well received, I'm like, it was not well received by like 1 or 2 outlets, and that's it. Like, PC Gamer gave it Game of the Year at the time.
But then again, if they were to do an Isolation 2, is it more at this point? Are we going more? I want the mechanic, I want the style back, rather than a continuation of Amanda's story.
See, that would be the question, right? Like, do you have the same mechanic where the alien is unkillable, or do you do a more survival horror? Like, the aliens are very tough to kill, but there's more than one alien, and you can kill them. It just takes like planning. It would be an interesting question what they would do, if they would repeat the same mechanic or if they'd tweak the formula a bit. Anthony Petro says, more Predator games, please. Alien gets a lot of games, and that is amazing, but we have to wait years for Predator games. I agree.
Yeah.
This was... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's something we always talk about, this desire for, that open world RPG for Predator. The ideal ways to do a Predator game haven't been done yet. This was an interesting take, I think, and I think it had a lot more potential that the game didn't exploit, but it still always comes back to that desire for, you know, a GTA in space for me.
Yeah, Caleb and I were talking about this the other night, and it's that the foundation for this game is so solid. Like the gameplay loop, that's why we're still playing it. It's just really fun. They knocked it out of the park on that. Unfortunately, they really dropped the ball on long-term support, and
In that there was none.
yeah, and you know, living up to its potential with different modes and stuff.
But then again, it's always a question of, well, how much did the lawsuit come over?
I'm sure it did, yeah. And I wouldn't be opposed to them coming back and doing another, like, that strong foundation still here, like, do a next-gen only game now instead of a cross-gen game, and...
More than 3 maps on launch, please.
Yes, that would be nice.
I'm hoping with the way people are reacting to Halo Infinite as well at the minute, that developers and publishers are going to be more aware of bringing that content out, making that content available. Don't expect people to just take the bare minimum.
Yeah.
You know, it was something I said would be a concern for this game all along from the very start, was
lack of content.
Lack of content, the regularity of any content that we were going to get.
I mean, it's a tricky question because I think there's a certain expectation too between higher profile games that have a lot more resources, like Halo, like Call of Duty. I mean, Call of Duty, it's the same thing. People are like, this is paltry content here, you know? Whereas I think people are a bit more understanding when they're smaller dev teams like this, or with Aliens Fireteam Elite. Like, Fireteam Elite, they said, we're not a live service game. We're just continuously supporting this game. And so, that's an interesting question. Like, yeah, games like that are less dependent on a consistent player base than the big ones like Halo Infinite and Call of Duty. But
I don't feel like Fireteam Elite's had any lack of content, I'll be honest.
It's just had some gaps between content. I agree with you. I think they've done a lot of great stuff for that game post-launch, but I know people were frustrated initially in the first, I think, year.
Yeah, I suppose until Pathogen really came out. You know, at the end of the first year, I think it was looking very healthy. You know, this extra campaign, these new modes, new maps for the skirmish type stuff. There was far more to unlock, I think.
Yeah. Zachary Rice asks, did you guys have a podcast with the developers of this? I believe we had 2.
Yes. I think we did. I think we did one about Arnie's return, because you know that was a real huge moment in the expanded universe, in the lore that this game did. You know, nobody was allowed to touch Arnie. Fox wouldn't let them, and
for the longest time.
Yeah, and this game got that opportunity. You know, it was huge, and I always enjoyed talking to the developers. You know,
they seem like great guys for sure.
You know, and it felt like they were really into the franchise, and very open to exploring a lot of things from the expanded universe. Which I think is again where some of my disappointment comes from, because there's just so much that they could have explored but didn't.
I want him dead. Where is he? Okay, maybe not. Maybe I just get out of here.
Yeah. Number 9 says Arnold added a whole other level to this game, and the lore tapes were brilliant as well. Let's be honest.
Zachary Rice says, it just seems like you guys have the pulse of the fandom. Why wouldn't they consult further? Well, thank you. We appreciate that. Yeah, that's a good question, Aaron. Weren't we waiting on something from them?
Oh shit. We were, weren't we? You know what? I forgot all about that. Yeah, okay, that might have been a possibility at one point. It just never happened.
I think it was probably the lawsuit tripping them up again, honestly.
Yeah. I would. How much more did that lawsuit fuck up, and did the merger fuck up? I mean, we've heard what 2 or 3 games that were possibly in development for Alien
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
were just buried by the merger.
There's some artwork I've seen on ArtStation recently of someone that was like canceled Alien project, and I was like, "Whoa, what?"
What, really?
Yeah, I thought I sent it to you.
I don't remember you sending.
Yeah.
Make sure you do. Make sure you do.
Yeah, I saved it, so I'll find it. I'll find it.
Because I'm trying. You know what? While we wait for this to load up, there was that Hadley's Hope one.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. It wasn't like who said they were working on that? It wasn't. Hmm.
Hang on, I'm going back through the news archives. Trying to find it.
Caleb says they stopped taking our calls when we continuously kept yelling "city map." Yep. But you know, Ilphonic, I thought those guys were great, and me personally, you know, virtual photography is kind of a hobby of mine, and they were really awesome about sharing some of the pictures I had taken with this game. Yeah, they like had me do an interview with them too and put it on their website. I wasn't expecting any of that.
Okay, so there was Aliens Hadley's Hope, which was apparently going to be done by Boss Key Productions.
Wait a minute, that's not
was,
J.J. Abrams' gaming company, is it?
I don't know.
Man, keep him away from Alien, please.
Apparently, there was also another game by Slipgate Ironworks and 3D Realms.
3D Realms. That's who I was thinking about. The company.
And there was. Oh no, that is the same one. Sorry. So the Boss Key Productions thing, Aliens Hadley's Hope, was focused around Newt. It would have served as an alternate sequel to Aliens, focusing on an adult Newt.
See, that's what I want. Give me Divergent canon at this point, because then I can ignore the prequels much easier. I can be like, that's that canon. Okay.
4-player co-op, which would have been interesting. Yeah, and that's one of the things that was a bit more enjoyable about Colonial Marines. Okay, well, that's muted.
We're playing Clash. Hope you're ready for this.
Zachary Rice says, I own and run a small craft brewery, and we named our American strong ale New Kick from Orbit.
That's a good one.
Dude, you need to buy some of that and give it a go.
Yeah, you know what sucks is Utah doesn't allow you to import alcohol, at least not from other states. But
it's a bit shitty.
I mean, we do have good beers here. Like, I feel like because of Utah's culture, the ones that make beers here are very passionate about it. But Utah's culture has changed a lot since I was a kid. You know, Utah is becoming a much bigger city. I think we had more population growth percentage-wise than any other state in the past 10 years. So it's Utah is not like it was when I was younger. It's becoming closer to like Denver, Austin, Texas, Phoenix. You know, not just the Mormonville.
Yeah. I admit that's a little bit of nothing to me. You know, I'm an ignorant foreigner.
Well, just think of The Expanse, right? Like, you saw the Mormons in that one.
True.
That show actually, it was pretty accurate in its representation. Like, I was kind of surprised. Yeah, Zachary, hit me up. Let's make it happen. Government doesn't have to know, right?
It's not like you're talking about it live on the internet. What state are you in, Zach? I was hoping a little microbrewery would open up round here, because it looked like it was going to happen for a while.
Uh-oh. Not good. Oh, we're playing Clash. No one... I'm such an idiot.
You're being daft.
I forgot we were playing Clash for a second.
Were you trying to mod up?
Yeah. I was like, why is this not working?
He's in Ohio. Is that far from you?
Oh, yeah, kinda, sorta. Man, Ohio's like middle United States, right? Like you're not quite to the. My geography's a little rusty in that part of the country, but you're not quite to the Great Lakes. Or maybe you are. I don't know.
It's a trek, he says.
Well, yeah, Ohio's not like close to Utah. Oh, become Predator.
I might have to try some of these themed ones myself. You know.
I'll be my feral, since I set the featured image as feral, so it'll be a little appropriate. So this is my version of feral. It's a shame they didn't release an actual class.
That you even got the bloody mask is a miracle.
Yeah, that's true. Come on.
And I'm glad it did happen. I see you jumping across. Oh, nice.
Thank you.
That was something I did actually really like about the game, was you being able to use the combi stick as a, you know, an actual throwing weapon. I think you could do it in 2010 as well, couldn't you? I think that was a nice.
Well, you could only use it as a throwing weapon in 2010.
Yeah.
And that was cool about this one, is you could use it as a melee or same with the disc as well in this game. And those little Predator v Predator fights you have in this mode are always cool, and it made me wish for a mode that was just based around that, like a Predator arena or something. Like that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
And to go heal, maybe.
I wish I was better at the Predator in this game. I never really got to play much of it.
You should. I mean, it was a higher learning curve. Oh, I don't have the meta comp. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll just get in there and fight.
I don't think Predator's coming.
But the Predator took some practice, you know. You play as the Fireteam, and that's just your standard first-person shooter. And the Predator, it took me quite a bit to, when I was trophy hunting on PlayStation, to get good enough for all those. All right, haven't checked the chat here in a minute. What's the impression on today's movie so far? Zachary Rice asks. We have seen nothing. Nothing has leaked yet. Then again, not much of.
Well,
Prey
I
leaked
mean,
either.
we got the audition tapes this time around.
That's true, but I mean nothing that shows them filming on the location or anything. But that Orgo Studios in Budapest has been getting bigger for sci-fi. I know they filmed some of The Martian there, so maybe that's where Scott had the recommendation.
Well, and Dune as well, wasn't it?
Dune Part 1 and 2, I believe, did some filming there. That comes out this year, man. Can you believe that? Dune Part 2?
I'm glad.
Looking forward to that, yeah.
Because, you know, I'm glad they actually announced a Part 2. I was like, you know what, if they don't get a Part 2, this is going to make the first film so much worse. Because it's an incomplete story.
Yeah, I loved Dune Part 1. I thought...
The book's one of my favourite books.
I still have never read the book. I have it. I need to just read it.
I had started rereading it after the film came out, but I was distracted by all the various releases. I need to start revisiting that one again. I've only read the first though because I was told the rest all suck. Zachary Rice says, "I loved his take on Evil Dead." Yeah, it's Evil Dead and Don't Breathe that really makes me actually quite excited for this.
I need to see Don't Breathe. Yeah.
They were just both very tense and intense films that I think is going to suit a very pared down, back to basics Alien very well.
Mm-hmm. He's not as
and
well.
I think that's what we're going to get.
Yeah, I agree, and that's honestly what I've been hoping for so long. That's why, like, when Prey came out, it was just so refreshing, and I was so happy about it because as long as I've been on staff since, I guess 2011 is when I started doing some moderating. There was only one Predator movie that really made me satisfied, and that was Predators in 2010. So it had been like 10 years, more than.
You mean
10
in
years.
terms of the new releases?
Yeah, with Alien, I haven't had that as long as I've been at AVP Galaxy. Like, the last Alien movie that left me completely satisfied was Aliens, you know, and I saw that as a teenager. So if I could have that, that would be pretty awesome.
You love the AVPs. You can't quite say
well,
that.
that's not an Alien film. It's an AVP film. But yes, I did like those. But the last one of those was 2007, so it's been a minute for those too. He's not as well known for it, but he also did the Girl in the Spider's Web, the Dragon Tattoo movie. So I do want to see that one by him.
And I didn't watch that. I'll be honest. I think I watched the first of the Dragon Tattoo ones with Numian when Prometheus was in development, just so I could see what she was like.
Mm-hmm.
That was something I used to do.
Well, they did the 3 Numi ones, and then they did the American version, the David Fincher one, which was so good. Like, that was such an awesome movie. I think he was going to do sequels, but it didn't do well enough, so they kind of skipped to the most recent book, which was The Girl in the Spider's Web, and they did it with a different actress. So it was kind of its own thing. It wasn't really a sequel to the Fincher one. I heard mixed things about it, but just so I'm more familiar with Fide's style, I still would like to see it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I need to watch, was it Pacific Rim 2 that she was in? Cali, Spain.
Was that did not happen. There is no Pacific Rim 2.
I mean, the first one wasn't exactly high cinema.
Oh, yes, it was. Come on now. The first one was great.
It was entertaining.
It was very entertaining. Maybe I'll be a.
You're lying to me if you think that was.
Mitch, I believe. Welcome to the stream. Did you just join us? Spider's Web was okay, just suffered from a lack of Numi. Yeah, a lot of people think she is the best portrayer of that role, Lisbeth Salander.
Lisbeth, yeah.
Oh, I disagree, Mitch. Fincher's was more than fine. It was just... There's a really good YouTube essay comparing Fincher's version with the original version, and man, Fincher just... He's such a good director, man. I wish Alien had not left a bad taste in his mouth like it did, because I would have loved to have seen him come back. Special Order 935 asks, you guys think Fide's will be planetside or space station? Well, you know, could always be both. Doesn't have to be one or the other.
That reminds me, did I tell you I got a script for one of the recent films?
Ooh, no.
That I need to go through and
and give to me.
That will be released on the website. We are able to release that once I get around to it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Maybe? Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
we
yeah,
both
yeah,
like
yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I mean, I would still like to see it, but I guess everyone will be seeing it before too long.
Because that was already I only skim read a bit at the start of it, and it was already quite different.
Uh, White Abaddon says Twitchers in Dead Space 2 Severed are horrifying. Just experienced 3 of them in a pitch black area. You can see their shoulder lamps flickering all over the place as they charge towards you. Yeah, those ones were always freaky. But it's good to see that franchise come back after so long in the dark.
Sakurai says, "What did you guys think of the new Evil Dead?" It's out. Evil Dead Rises?
Evil Dead Rise. I don't believe it's out yet. I'm looking forward to seeing it, unless you meant Fede Alvarez's remake, which I really liked. I still haven't seen the unrated cut, so I need to see that.
I enjoyed it. You know, one of the 2 films that I've had to walk out the cinema for a breather of. Very intense film. And I never really liked the originals. I never really got into the campy vibe of them.
Well, Evil Dead 2 is when it started being campy, and then Army of Darkness just went...
I mean, the first one's low-budget camp, where it's... You know, it doesn't know it's silly.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, I'm stuck, I think. No, I'm out. I've got it. I had a friend who was really into him back in the day, though. It was like his favourite films. I think I probably should give him another go, you know. And the TV show, because I understand the TV show is amazing.
Yeah, Ash vs. Evil Dead. I've been meaning to see that one.
White Band, Zachary says Rise is what they meant. White Band says the trailer looks brilliant. The cheese grater scene in particular is going to be cringe-inducing in the best possible way. Is that back in the camp feel, the new one?
It seems closer to the remake feel, honestly, from what I've seen. Mitch says, I will not stand for griping about proper Evil Dead. That's right, Aaron. Evil Dead 2 is probably my favorite. I love that movie. I love when the deer just, like, twists its neck and starts laughing at him. Like, it's so good.
I just struggle with...
How about we just kill you?
Sometimes the less serious stuff. Health down in here if anybody needs. You ready for the new Marvel run then? Do you think they...
Predator?
Well, both, I guess, actually.
That's true, yeah. Alien, the first non-Philip Kennedy Johnson arc comes out Alien Day. And we actually just recorded our podcast review of Alien Icarus, which is the third Marvel arc. even though the series restarted as a #1. It's always weird how they do that. It's like,
Well, yeah, it's volume 2, but it's the third story.
heyo, Sizzy Bubbles, welcome to the stream. Speaking of, Sizzy Bubbles recorded that one with us, so that was her first podcast. So you will be able to hear Sizzy Bubbles also speak about the comic. Caleb says, written by Gillip Kennedy Conson.
Did we get tongue-tied?
Gillip Kennedy Conson.
I'm ready for some fresh blood on that one. You know, I was just so genuinely disappointed by how ambivalent I was about a lot of stuff last year.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, as a franchise that's this long running, it is nice to consistently get new stuff, but we do like the stuff to be good.
Yeah. Or well, let's say you want to enjoy the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, because the Alien comics, they were fine. Like, if I was if I wasn't the hardcore fan that I am, I think most of them would have, like, done the job, even with the terrible art of the first two. Because I just probably wouldn't have known any better, you know? I think most people didn't. I think they might have gotten enough pushback from fans with LaRocca's art to change that up, and that was great, because tracing is not good for comics.
It's not. And I actually really did like Julia Soto's and Nitro's artwork on Icarus. So it was nice to see that change.
The artwork was really good. I was very curious about how the same writer with a different artist would come across, but you could still tell it was Philip Kennedy Johnson. Like, the stories had kind of the same kind of issues, the same kind of beats, yeah. And so I think he's done all right. I agree with you. It's time for new blood.
They all three arcs had ideas that I thought were interesting, but they just didn't stick it for me. You know, he didn't stick the landing, and they didn't quite satisfy me in the end. Which is why I'm looking forward to this new writer whose name I can't currently remember, but I'm hoping he'll excite me.
I'll have to look up the artist as well, look at their work. I think the location of an ice planet will be really cool for Alien.
Oh yeah, I mean the cover art is highly suggestive straight away. You know, of this alien coming up from under the ice.
That was one of the things Dead Space 3 got right, was the ice planet setting was cool. Pretty much everything else wasn't, unfortunately. Well, there was a few other cool things about Dead Space 3, but it just really dropped the ball on the story, the characters, the action, some of the payoffs to things they had been building through Dead Space 1 and 2, so...
It's Declan Shalvey is the new writer, and Andrea Brocado on art. Both worked with Marvel before. And Declan also wrote, illustrated, a 28 Days Later series for Boom.
Really? Yeah, I'll have to look into their artwork. There's also...
Says, I don't mind the newest guy's art. I actually prefer stylized art. I just wished it was more realistic and posing. Lots of superhero poses and stuff that didn't seem super alien in the start. But yeah, that was something that... was it Eric brought that one up?
I think we all kind of brought it up, where... Yeah, some of the main characters are a bit too superhero-ish, you know?
In their poses.
I still think the Predator first arc has been stronger than any of the Alien ones, but maybe just barely, because even that had its problems.
The treatment of the Predators just pulls that series down too much. I'm hoping that the next one's I'm hoping that that's a criticism that the writer, I'm blanking on names today, Kev Walker, has taken on for the next run, because there's only a limited amount of predators in the next series. So hopefully we don't see them all get trounced. One predator die every issue, I think, is about the pace of the the first run.
Special
order says I'm gonna. Oh, you go.
All right. Special order 935 says I'm gonna have to find a comic store. I hate having to wait for trades. That's always good to support your local comic shop if you got one. I typically just I know you say I'm part of the problem, and I am, because I don't really read the single issues.
Singles.
I just collect them for the art. I typically I'll just get them on Kindle and read them on my iPad.
I just don't like the idea of all these bloody variants, I guess. But no, I mean, I read the issues as they come out. I always sort of missed having that experience in the 90s, you know, during that first golden age. And when we started getting them again, I sometimes I would go to the shop, you know, as these things were released. I haven't done that for a while, I guess mostly because the last, you know, Marvel's runs haven't really excited me enough to go after work and pick them all up in the same ways that the second golden age of Dark Horse did. But it's an experience I quite like of the you know, oh, I can't wait for the next issue, what's gonna happen. I'm quite lucky in that I've had a local comic book shop for a long time. You know, it's where I brought my first McFarlane figures from, was this shop. It's where I got Thriller the Hunt and Civilized Beasts from, and yeah, I'm very lucky there.
Sizzy Bubble says, I really like to get the trades, but I prefer the graphic novels. Yeah, that's how I kind of always read them growing up, is because, like you were saying, Aaron, like we were getting into it after a lot of those comics had released, so we did get the paperback versions of them. So I kind of like to do that as well. Sometimes I'll read like the first issue or two, and then I'll hold off until the series concludes, and then I'll read it all.
I don't know how you can be so patient. I'll be honest. I'm just impatient to digest it all.
It depends. If I'm really into it, then yeah, I'll just read one issue right after the other.
Have any of the recent ones been like that for you?
Nah, not really.
Well, what about like the end of Dark Horse Predator? Oh my god, the end of Dark Horse's sort of run.
Well, a lot of those were interrupted. Like they would get the first two.
Well, okay, go a little further back.
Okay.
Like, you know, things like Dust to Dust and Defiance and stuff like that.
No, I think I waited to read Dust to Dust. Same with Defiance. I think I just got that big hardback of Defiance. Which, man, some of those.
I have about 3 different versions and stuff.
Some of those hardbacks are going for so much now. Like the Fire and Stone, Life and Death hardcovers are, like, on secondhand market. They're really expensive. Mike the Leonardo Jr., welcome to the stream.
And Joe joined us as well.
Hello, Joe.
Special Order says, exactly, Hicks. I missed out on so much excitement on getting the latest issues. Well, you know, I'm not feeling the excitement for the latest stuff personally, but that's just down to my enjoyment of the runs. But yeah, you know, that there's nothing quite like that excitement when you are really into one of these series. You know, it's a lot like well, it is a mini-series, really, isn't it? You know, it's watching a experience in a limited narrative, and yeah, just exciting. You know, I always regretted missing that, so I was really happy to be able to experience it with this second golden age we got.
What is this guy doing, man? Call for reinforcements.
Who are you watching?
Markelov 5, I guess.
He's there. It's going for him.
Oh, okay.
Justin Grayson's joined us. Welcome.
Yes, welcome, welcome.
Okay, I lie. I only have 2 versions of Defiant. I've got the trades, and then I've got the library hardback. I'm glad Dark Horse actually managed to put out some of those original. Yeah, somebody's already. Where is he?
I don't know. I'm having a hard time spotting him. Okay, he's up here.
Ah, damn it! He's cornered me. Damn it! Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, so I was really glad Dark Horse managed to put out those original years editions with you know, Alien and Predator and AVP. You know, they got one of each out before they lost the license. I'm really thankful for those because those are great books.
Unfortunately, they didn't get their last Predator one out though.
Yeah, that would have been nice. I still wish the art would have been a bit better for the Alien 3 comic, you know. Like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. It just wasn't quite as strong on the art front. Mike DeLeonardo says, which game do we have lined up for the next community game? Yeah, we haven't booked one in for March yet, have we?
Yeah, my friend and I did some work on our server today, so I think that's about ready to go. We could do one with that and just stream it.
Yeah, okay.
Honestly, I've been having so much fun with Colonial Marines. I wouldn't be opposed to doing that again.
Disgusting, man. Disgusting, man.
The multiplayer's good.
I know.
I want to unlock all those alien moves.
Do you think? I mean, we're gonna do Colonial Marines again if you want. It's fine by me. In terms of the server, are we looking likely to get the OPP one as well?
That's something we haven't really gone through yet, but I will bring that up and find out.
Okay.
I'm sure it's doable.
Do you just want to do ACM again next month?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, because some were saying 2010, the last time we played ACM, so maybe we should switch back.
I mean, we can alternate. If we just do a cycle, it'd make decision making a lot easier. Although we haven't done an AVP Classic one yet.
That's true. Could do that.
Although that's annoying to do because each time you want to change settings or a level, you have to kill the thing and then go back in. But I mean, we can do an off the air community night for Classic. I'll have to post up in the Discord, see if people are interested. The Special Order says, Hicks, did you read the Raised by Wolves comic? No, I didn't realise it was a Raised by Wolves comic. Really enjoyed the show though. Very much enjoyed the show. It's a shame that got cancelled. Did you ever finish watching it?
I did not. Ooh, I'm hiding. He doesn't know where I am.
He's there. He's there. He's there.
Oh, he sees me. Come on. Ooh. Oh, no. Yes.
He's gonna get you, isn't he?
No, I got away.
He's done it. He's done it. Joe says AVP Classic would be fun.
That's what you gotta do, is hide in the bushes.
Wait a minute, isn't stealth the Predator's thing? with the wolf mask. I still think the wolf mask's one of the better masks in general.
Yeah, they got it mostly accurate. It was a bit long.
I've never been one who needs them to be massively accurate, I'll be honest, with these kind of things.
I say we do more Clash. That way people can see more Predator fun.
Aye. Well, if you want to do a Predator run, you're more than welcome to. You know you are. We're here to keep the folk entertained. I need to go and re-listen to the Isabel tapes because I can't really remember them that well.
It was cool that they got her back also. Alice Braga.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really nice moment.
So, Caleb was telling me, like, compared to the schedules, we should be getting more DLC for this on Tuesday, right?
Like that's gonna happen.
The Tank Predator, that's the one that's been data mined. It's the last one. And we still have Tracker Mask. It hasn't been released. That was data mined. They gotta squeeze us for one more $8 or $9.
I don't think I brought the last few, you know.
I'm glad they finally added the AVP Preds. Even though they really should have had a Shuriken, you know. Because that was... We saw that. That was leaked a long time ago.
Yeah, that was always disappointing, wasn't it? It really should have happened by now. You know what I saw today on Facebook was somebody sharing a replica of the Predator pistol. I really fucking want one of those of Wolf's.
Do you like Wolves more than the one in this game?
Yes. Yes. Definitely. About you?
I don't know. I thought the one in this game was pretty cool. But I did really like Wolves as well.
Especially when it says the show was so cool, man. The Giga head in the Pentagon box is constantly stuck in my head. Oh my god, I fucking hate randoms.
Giger head in the Pentagon box?
He's talking about. They're talking about Raised by Wolves.
Oh, right. Yeah, I need to finish that.
I don't think it ever. I don't think it ever came out on DVD home release over here. Which is a shame. I've watched them, but I'd very much like to own them.
Yeah, I know Hulu has plans to release Hellraiser now, so hopefully the same will be for Prey.
But then again, different production studios, aren't they?
True. Yeah. We'll do Bionic. I think Bionic was one of their coolest original Predators, honestly, which is interesting because they added him so late to the game. Like, the model is just really awesome.
I barely remember the dude.
Damn it.
Who was Bionic? Was he...
He was the Cyborg Predator.
Yeah, okay. That's just a concept I'm always going to love as well.
I don't know, Caleb. I mean, I think it would probably be a year, honestly, I think if
just to give it some exclusivity.
yeah, I think it would be August if it is coming.
Like a year anniversary release.
Yeah.
That'd go over really well. In my opinion, anyway. Damn. That axe just nailed me. Really hope we hear something about a new Predator film soon as well. That film must have earned so much goodwill and momentum.
Yeah. Yeah, one would think. I don't know, I'm trapped in the fire here. I wouldn't have expected another Predator movie after the last one, and now that we have a good one, I would expect one, but maybe we won't get one.
And end of the day, we only got that because it was already in
Yeah.
some measure of pre-production or production at the time. The Predator was being made.
Yeah, these guys are kind of wrecking us here. Not having as easy of a time with this clash.
Push up, support the Predator.
Reloading. Cover me.
You know, it is a valid strategy to, like, fall back and get to the next point before anyone else. No, I'm stuck. Oh, this is not good.
I believe in you.
Okay, I got it. Predator's after me now, though. I think we'll be losing this one.
Oh, I'm gonna play a Predator.
Nice.
I'm sure this will go very poorly. Mostly because I also cannot remember my controls.
Them now, leave them later.
Ah, that's what I'm after too.
Yeah, you would be correct, White Abaddon. They never did add the handheld plasma caster from AVPR in this, which would have been very appropriate for Wolf. You know, if you weren't going to do any of his crazier weapons, you could have just done a skin for the default plasma pistol in this game. As that one.
That seemed like the reasonable thing to do.
Sizzy Bubble says, I do believe we established this as Predator, wouldn't it be nice? Or Predator, it's a shame.
Finish it.
Such a bad name for a game.
We have to keep moving.
Man, that battle axe just wrecks.
Been defeated. Gilliam says that was when it became clear we weren't getting any new weapons for this. White Band says, Corporal Hicks, have you read any more of the CEO? No, the tech manual. No, not yet. There's too much going off. I've just started a new role at work that's making me immensely busy and tired when I get home. So that's where I've been struggling a little bit this year. Why you haven't had 2 podcasts a month already. Wish there was more time, Adam. I wish there was more time in the world.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
And more energy. Well, I suppose more energy rather than time.
Just gotta slam that G Fuel, man.
You're alright, mate. You're alright. Although I'll tell you what I'd be interested in doing is GMing some more sessions, actually. I've only done it once. The RPG. I would very much like to jump back into that. And I can add enemy of my enemy to my shelf until I'm ready to start.
Yeah, for me, that's still not released in physical form, but I got it on Kindle.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. It's weird. I don't think the audiobook's out until mid next month. The location of the database.
Do it now.
I will suggest it at some point because I want to go through the book scenarios because I haven't done any of them. Mitch says, "Did you play Heart of Darkness yet, Aaron?" Yes, we just finished our. Well, I've played it through twice actually, but the first session lasted a session because we skipped basically, and everybody died. But no. Our last attempt at playing through, we just finished on Thursday, was interesting.
Yeah, I survived.
Yeah, I survived as well, achieving my agenda. Very well. I nearly died. I should have died, but I think Chris let us get away with that. It's alright, just take him to the med pod. Take him to the med pod. I can't believe that. Every fucking game we play, I must get face dugged.
Yeah, you have a few times.
Every time. But no, I mean, I don't really want to get into it in case I potentially spoil anything here. But you know the kind of things I like at the minute, you know, and to see that introduced into the RPGs was interesting.
Yeah, I need to get
now
the
actual book.
Yeah, so I can see the artwork and read more the possible outcomes.
See, I'm now thinking the same. You know, I wanna read what the lore in the book was in regards to those creatures. Number 9. Caleb says, "Wait, didn't you get blown up?" No, I didn't get blown up. I escaped and then went to join an ally.
Should have gotten blown up.
Number 9 says, "Would RPGs translate well digitally?" Yeah, well, that's how we play, mate. So sometimes I play in person at a shop, but we all tend to play via Discord and Roll20. We play with Adam, Caleb, the chat moderator, Eric as well. Special Order says his enemy of My Enemy out yet. So in the UK it seems to be out. My copy arrived today from Amazon. Predators nearby. Oh, is it? Oh, damn.
Get them off the objective.
Oh, there's Chevy. Welcome.
Hey, Chevy.
Caleb says, yeah, when it comes to players being sneaky and doing stuff they don't want other people to know about, it works better online than it does in person. Yeah, I mean, it did get a little funny when there's just loads of us just
We all just
silent in the voice, and we're
yeah,
all just, you know,
messaging the GM.
Chris. I mean, I think it probably makes it hilarious for Chevy. But then the rest of us are sort of like, well, what's he up to? I was a little unsure of my character to start with, but you know, I got really into it in the second act. Yeah, exactly, Chris says. Not for me, it doesn't. Absolute madness. White Band says, for me, Enemy My Enemy was really good. Not quite Infernus 4, maybe, but still one of the better books. Did you really enjoy Infernus 4 that much about him? I mean, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed it. I think it was a 7/8 kind of area.
I think we both gave it 7s, yeah. For me, it was like, it was good. It wasn't great. Like, I had some issues with it.
I mean, anything with prequel elements in, I think you're just going to struggle with.
It depends.
Sometimes.
Fireteam Elite. I love how they handled the prequel elements in that.
I don't like how they handle the neomorphs, though, and their relationship with the aliens.
Reloading.
Find the mean. Oh, isn't it in the
We don't want them recovering anything, so format the entire system.
Over me. I'm formatting.
Working on it.
Okay,
Oh,
I've done it.
down.
I've done it.
Shoot.
Shut down connected systems in a specific order before it'll allow us to
White Band says Infernus 4 was brilliant, not to the level of Alex White's, but still one of the best from Titan, even with the strange use of pathogen and confusion about the xenomorphs. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed it.
Why? You act like this is the first time.
I think there was a little bit of
He's coming.
creature confusion at some point.
Box him in! Not this bit.
Oh, it's this one. Oh,
Thanks. Get on your feet, soldier.
there we go. Oh, we're gonna get nailed now. I've got somebody. Oh, you dodge.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you.
Careful, careful. Careful.
Run, out of the way. Out of the way. Don't let it get us all boxed in. White Band's list goes into 1 into Crib. There's 2 Cold Forge, 3 Phalanx. I agree there. 4 Infernus, 4, 5 Enemy of My Enemy. After that, I'm not clear on order. Colony War and Novelization are, and Isolation Novelization are at the very bottom. Yeah, I can agree with that.
It's a shame the Isolation one I kept hearing wasn't good. I never read it myself, but
You're not gotten to it.
that was
yet.
one that deserved to be good, you know, deserved to be written by someone who'd played it.
Yeah, I think that's an immensely odd choice on the author's part to not play the thing you're writing an adaptation of. I mean, I think the justification was, well, I can watch the cutscenes and that's where the bulk of the story is. And it's like, yeah, I guess in some aspects that is where the bulk of the story is, but there's more to Isolation than just that. You know, it's an experience. You know, it's so well regarded because it's a good horror game, and the way you react to it, the way it makes your body physically react.
Hang tight, Fireteam. Heading to you now.
Good luck. I would hide in the bush, mud it up. Oh, he's coming for you.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Quite a bad one. Have you read the old Bantam ones? White Bad also says Prototype is probably solid middle ground. River of Pain would be a step above that. Without the shadows above that. Sea of Sorrows maybe just lower than Prototype. Vasquez just below Prototype. See, I would put Vasquez towards the bottom end of the spectrum. I'll be honest. But like, I think the Bantam stuff, Music of the Spears and Berserker, it deserves to be up there with, you know, Alex White's and Phalanx. I did enjoy Prototype. I thought that was a good solid. That was a good solid one. All of Titan, all of the Shadow Saga, I think was reasonably solid. Oh, what about the Covenant prequel? Yeah, I mean that was a failed attempt. There was a lot of things in there that could have been really interesting and could have been genuinely good, but it just didn't work.
I'm going to go
You
AFK
need to
for a
read
couple
it.
minutes
Okay.
after I put us in rotation here.
Okay.
I'll be back before the round starts.
White Baden says Berserker was my favourite. Rogue and Labyrinth were great. Music of the Spears wasn't sure about. No feelings towards Harvest. First 3 books sucked. My life. I don't think I've met anybody who dislikes the Perry books. I do think Berserker was my favourite, but I remember really enjoying Music of the Spears, and I held that one up there. Rogue and Labyrinth, yeah, were good. I really enjoyed Genocide as well. I thought that ended up being quite a nice little character study of Grant, actually. It was far better than the comic. Tribes was gorgeous. I don't remember enough about the story itself, but, you know, anything with Dave Dorman art in it, it's going to look damn good.
A large Stargazer installation.
Original Sin.
We're not sure why they picked this location.
So that was the first of the DH Press ones. I remember not hating that one as much as I expected to based on some of the reviews, but yeah, DH Press and Alien didn't really work. You know, Predator went from genuinely awful Forever Midnight to solid to brilliant and brilliant. You know, the Predator ones were generally great. Alien didn't really achieve much. You know, Original Sin was, it was okay. You know, DNA War I remember being meh, okay. I think Cauldron ended up having quite a few interesting bits in it. Steel Egg was awful. That was genuinely awful.
Okay, back.
Criminal Enterprise didn't really work out. I think Criminal Enterprise was probably the best. It didn't really work for me. I didn't really get invested in any of the characters. No Exit could have been amazing, but it just went off the absolute rails on the last fifth of the book, maybe. Pardon me.
Let's just back out, because we got a bot here.
I'll be very curious to start going through the DH Press books with you, Adam.
Yeah, because I only ever read DNA War, Original Sin, Forever Midnight, and Turnabout. Because the DH Press, they didn't have any AVP books, did they?
No, they didn't. Rage War is on Audible. Rage War we really enjoyed. We've got the last episode, our last review episode to come out next month, and we all really enjoyed that. It's not one we'd want to revisit, or not a style that we'd want the franchise to use very often, but as a sort of little treat, it's a very nice, refreshing breath of fresh air. If It Bleeds, was a great book, great anthology book. Really, I haven't finished it yet, the final version, but I've really been enjoying Eyes of the Demon as well. Some fantastic ones in there. Ultimate Prey was generally really strong as well. That was a good, solid outing.
Mm-hmm.
Bug Hunt wasn't.
I think it's about time for another Alien anthology.
Yeah. Just hopefully a hell of a lot better than Bug Hunt.
Joe says,
No,
you do it.
I need to go back and finish Original Sin. I wish there was more Ripley stuff out there. She's an interesting character that deserves exploration. You know what? I completely agree with you there. I'm very disappointed that the only 2 Ripley 8 explorations have been Original Sin and Alien vs Predator vs Terminator. And they are not the ones that are very well received. And with good reason. I do think she was a really interesting part of Resurrection and a fascinating character that, I would absolutely love to see show up again and them to explore that, crisis of identity. White Baden says Bug Hunt had one superb short about Bishop, the rest were either good, bad, or ugly. Currently making my way through Ultimate Prey, 2 absolute bangers so far. I remember enjoying the Bishop one in Bug Hunt. What else did I enjoy? There was the one from the Alien POV that was great. There was the one with the Marine and the Survivor in the vents that was great. The fictional TV show on the Pulse Rifle was really entertaining as well. What else? I didn't really I think there was one of the Bishop ones that I enjoyed, and all the other aliens character ones I didn't like. I liked Jim Moore's. I thought that was a really, really entertaining one as well. Joe says, was not aware she was in Alien vs Predator vs Terminator. Yeah, she was. Not great. To be honest. Possibly worth probably worth a read if you like both of them, but it's not very good. Ben Collins says one of the favourite shorts was The Old Man Sniper. That's actually a sequel to Predator Turnabout. Have you read that one, Ben? And that was one of the DH Press Predator novels. Really good. That one was a 10 out of 10 for me. The novel, that is. To be fair, I think the anthology was a 10 out of 10 for me as well. Eyes won't be, because there's ones in Eyes that I haven't really enjoyed. But I'm only talking like 2 or 3. No mercy. I do hope the novels did well for Titan, though. Even if last year we were a bit bleh on them.
Yeah. No, overall,
in general they've been really good.
And they've done more books than any of the other publishers at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We've really made use of the licenses.
Password on the token should be synced to the clock on the safe. Enter the password. Biometric scan.
I'll be sad if we don't get any more for a little while. Well, then again, I haven't read Enemy yet, so I don't know how sad I'll be. I'm just very sour on them at the minute.
Time locked. God damn it. At least we didn't break the lock. Enter the password and trigger the time lock.
Skeld's Keep was my favourite. That was the Viking one in If It Bleeds, if I remember rightly. I mean, that was one of the great things about If It Bleeds as well. You know, that was a really strong demonstration of how the Predator works so well in all these different timelines. The time settings, sorry, should I say.
They had an Old West one, they had a Samurai one, and a Viking one in the same anthology.
You had a Civil War one as well. I think there was one in the future. The one by Jonathan Mayberry, which was really good.
On the other hand, in Eyes of the Demon, the only one in the past was Aftermath, the one in the 80s. It took place after the first film.
The Predator sequel, Predator 2 prequel. You know, that's another one that's took a long time to finally happen. But I think it was probably like Arnold showing up in this game that they were like, yeah, go on then, everybody can use him now.
Yeah.
And Brian made sure to use like bits of dialogue from the tapes and stuff like that as well from this game. Whiteband says, I want to see more stories where it's the UPP, SOF or RMC instead of relying on the Colonial Marines for everything. Yeah, agreed. I mean, in all fairness, the RPG trilogy did try and do that, it just didn't do it very well. You know, the RMC and the Three World Empire were a pure joke.
Colony War.
In Colony War. But no, I'd like to see more of that as well.
Gavna.
Ben Collins says the book South China Sea is great. Damn right, South China Sea is great.
We need to do a podcast on
South
that one already.
China Sea is fan-fucking-tastic. Also, you know, that was a camouflaged appearance of Dutch before they were allowed to use Dutch, because Onyx in that book is intended to be him.
Mm.
We should probably do a South China Sea episode
quit.
this year. Oh.
So we good? Did you get that tape?
No? What tape?
No, I pointed it out. You can probably still get it. It's at the complex directly to southeast.
Where we were?
Yeah, it should be on the map.
Am I going?
It's by that room where the ammo case usually is. Like that really big control room that's open to the outside. On top of a box in the corner. Good luck. Yeah, that's the room right there. Yep. I don't think you'll get back here in time though. So sad.
Not with that attitude. Not with that attitude. Can't believe you left without me. What happened to No
I
Man
mentioned
Left
it
Behind?
earlier. I was like, there's a tape here. I must have missed it. Justzilla, the king of games. Hello. Welcome to the stream.
Whiteband says, same for Wayland. I assume you mean Wayland Jutani there. Give me LaSalle Bionational or Siegson. Yeah, I'd like to see them play with the other corporations as well. Bionational in particular would be a nice one for them to explore some more, what with it being, you know, those guys who fucked over the earth. I'd like to see more religious aspects as well. You know, more cults focused around the aliens, or more religions focused around the aliens.
Oh, you will like Dead Space then.
That's not in the Alien film
I know,
universe.
but if you like sci-fi cult shit.
Mitch says Arnie does promos for mobile games now. They shouldn't be so picky about his inclusion. He's obviously not. Well, I mean, they're not anymore, are they? They were saving his character basically. Was what they were doing, just in case. And obviously, nothing came because they didn't like any of the sequels at all. And I can't blame him. You know, the cameo for. I like Predators, but the scripted cameo for him was a little cheesy, and the scripted cameo for him in The Predator was terrible, corny as hell.
You know, not only with Arnold, but this game was pretty lore significant with its use of the female predators. I mean, we had never seen them outside of books and comics before. And this game had a lot of individualized female predator characters, you know, like Pirate, like Cleo, like Valkyrie, and of course you could create your own custom ones. So that was really cool to see. It was another significant predator thing this game contributed.
Yeah. Still not keen on the boob design, but I'm never gonna like that. Never. But no, it was cool to see them.
Ben
Because
Collins. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, that was just something that was never really used in the lore either, was it? I mean, you had a few big instances of it, like Big Mama from Deadliest of Species, and it wasn't really until like the recent anthologies where it's become a huge thing. White Band says only good thing about Predator boob armor is seeing Kren's reaction to it. Yeah, in the Phalanx short, that was hilarious.
Ben Collins says, I just want to see Jerry the synthetic alien back in a comic. That would be cool to see a modern interpretation of Jerry.
Yeah, the synthetic alien. That was a concept I love as well. Jerry and Norbert. Special Order says, out there be dragons. OTBD. That'll mean nothing to Adam. That's the motto of the bad guys in the prequel, the Covenant prequel.
It just seemed like it, I don't know, like, it seemed like it made no sense in terms of the timeline, because that was supposed to be the first big colonization mission, but in so much of the viral marketing of Prometheus, it's like there's all these colonized worlds.
Well, it was supposed to be the furthest attempt.
I thought it was like the first big colonization.
No, I
mission.
think it was the furthest attempt.
Head to the following coordinates and stand by for further orders.
Ben Collins says, I'm surprised we haven't seen a Predator female in a movie yet. Well, before this game, they all could have been.
There was some concept art for Predators.
Yeah,
had
true.
them.
But again, that was just boobs. And welcome, Nomad Clan.
Yes, welcome.
Joining us towards the end, though, I'm afraid. Caleb says they were just trying to protect us from David being the alien's creator. I don't get the reference there, Caleb. Explain.
The group in Origins.
Oh, they were just trying to make sure. Okay. It had that could have been so interesting. That short, that prequel.
He's here. Oh shit, he's using the hook.
Ah!
The operative's brother's been training guerrillas at this location. Find
Sir, is his brother even involved? I don't care. Kill him.
Zeus is pretty bloodthirsty. That was a book I didn't get on with as well. What was it called? Stalking Grounds, that was it. It was just the game related ones I didn't really enjoy for the longest time.
When you hear the click, get ready. I doubt he went in there unarmed. Get a picture of the body.
Target acquired.
Find a terminal and send that photo to the entire domain.
Is there any health around here? Yes. No. Is there any health around here? Oh, predators about. Joe liked Stalking Grounds. I couldn't get on with Stalking Grounds. Just didn't work for me.
There is, but Ridgetop doesn't want to tell you? What do you mean?
When I was asking about, is there any health nearby?
Oh, yes.
I checked under the little tunnel, but there wasn't any. Oh, here it is. They are. So you guys know, I've pinged it for you. I'm nice
think
like
you'd
that.
like me to tell you. I saw, was it Esquire did a piece on Prometheus recently? It was like, it's, you know, we didn't appreciate Prometheus at the time, but it was like such a good movie.
Was it though?
Was it though?
I mean, that's another one where it's like there's loads of things in it that sure I enjoy, but it didn't stick the landing.
Oh, Predator's coming. He's down. Nice. Come on. Holy shit.
Oh, how much is? Oh, you know what? I'm running.
Oh, you have a little faith. Oh, that's a friend.
I didn't think we had time there, I'll be honest. Reinforcements are always on the way. I want to know how Stargazer's funding this operation. Special Order says, what is that weapon?
This is the plasma rifle, the OWLF plasma rifle.
I really hope any modern films they do, they'll try and incorporate more found and utilized Predator technology. The Predator really bungled that one, but there was could have been really interesting.
Nice. I think we got time for one more.
Yeah, I'll give you one more. Caleb says they're funding it with pig drugs. Yeah, I mean they made sure to put some narrative in there, didn't they? With Special Order says Prometheus all sucks. I saw it with my dad, so it has some sentimental value. I think this thing's in that to like. This thing's in all of them to like, to be honest. It's just whether they stick it or not. And to be honest, I'm the type of person that generally likes to focus more on the things I enjoy than the things I dislike. But like I said, last year was hard. Last year was hard, guys. Like Ben Collins says, I blame studio interference for Prometheus and Covenant.
I don't know about that. I mean, it seemed like Ridley had mostly free reign. I mean, maybe with Covenant because he wanted to do more of a straight up sequel to Prometheus initially, I think. And I think the reason he did Covenant was to prevent Neil Blomkamp from getting Alien.
Which is immensely petty. Immensely petty. But I am glad we never got Blomkamp's thing. But yeah, Caleb's right there. Fox clearly mandated Aliens be jammed into it. It's a shame we haven't seen more about what that pre-Aliens thing would have looked like. Because, I mean, there's some very interesting old concept art with no real context to it. So, what was his name? Chang Li, I think it was. Had some really interesting Paradise stuff. The thing is, I really, really enjoy Covenant up until the aliens are involved. So I would have been much more keen to see it as this proto-alien film, this neomorph alien film. What do you think on that? Would you have enjoyed an alien film without an alien? Do you think it can work?
Maybe. I think it could
Predator
work.
just quit.
Okay.
Oh, good God.
Should we just quit too?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's play a game with a Predator in it. For the last one. Ben says, Ridley Scott can do great if left alone. Look at Raised by Wolves. You see, Ridley doesn't really have a lot to do with Raised by Wolves. It's Darren Aronofsky, I think his name is. Ridley just footed the bill and paid and directed a few of the episodes. Yeah, but that's the thing. Ridley's a visual guy. He's not a narrative guy.
He's a world builder. He's a great producer, and he's a great director. But as far as well, I know Prometheus and Covenant weren't written by him, but I think he was pretty involved in the writing process.
Mm-hmm. Yep. For both. Oh, I think you're going to have to re-add me to your squad.
What? Okay.
It's because I left games. Yeah. Caleb's just pointed that out.
Okay. Yeah, Amazon was kind of cool. Predator class.
White Band says, Covenant could have worked as Prometheus 3 possibly, but it shouldn't have been the second prequel. It's funny because I think a lot of the elements of Covenant are them trying to redo Prometheus. You know, a lot of it feels a lot like John Spates's Alien Engineers.
Yeah, I mean, Scott's 3 Alien movies have all kind of followed the same formula. Like, ship lands on planet, finds derelict ship, and you know, all hell breaks loose.
I think this is where Fed Acing is going to be really important, because it will be I hope, a breath of fresh air to that formula and to those story elements.
Your orders are liberate the village and destroy any drugs or supplies brought in by the guerrillas.
But yeah, sorry, you didn't get to finish saying about whether you thought an Alien film would work without aliens.
I think it depends. I think you're always going to have that expectation there. I mean, I know the RPG has really tried to expand the universe, and tried to make it cohesive. There's a lot of stuff in there that it's like, does this really fit together? But I think it could be done. I think you could do a sci-fi series. I just don't know if I'd call it Alien, you know, because then that sets up that expectation.
You just have that subtitle, an alien story.
Yeah, or an alien universe story. I don't know.
I mean, Ben's agreeing there. I would have enjoyed a movie without the xenomorph. The unknown is great, scary. Even Alien was so good because so much of it was unexplained. Your imagination can be scarier. I think that's where the Black Goo's kind of cool, because it lets you introduce Giger-esque elements, which I think feel very alien. And do a story necessarily without the trappings of the classic Alien. You know, that while I did really enjoy like John Spates's script, you know, that sort of fell apart when the aliens were introduced into it as well. So, you know, even back then, it's when you try and shoehorn the alien into these narratives without giving it the time to breathe or be used effectively, is where they fail.
Head to the other side of the village.
Caleb says you could call it Prometheus.
Indeed.
Yeah, well, that had its own other failings, didn't it?
Search the area for any remaining supplies the guerrillas may have brought in.
Even though that had a face hugger and an alien.
Yep. But it was...
And a belly burster.
Well, let's not get into that one. I just to say it.
Showing a larger cache of supplies at these coordinates.
Although that guy just let the Predator.
Second winded.
You hunted him down.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't look like he's trying to get away.
It's close. Yeah. Oh, I was on the last one there. I was quicker at that on the D-pad.
Hold your position and protect the body at all costs. See that you are amply rewarded for your services. Don't let them take
I think we can secure this Predator body. What about you?
Probably. Special Order 935 says Pathogen doesn't make the Giger style, though. That's true. The prequels,
It can do.
a lot of the concept artists were like, they were trying to go more towards Giger, but Ridley and the studio didn't want it.
It's alright, we can just ignore them. The EU makes them very Giga. And the artists wanted to. Has one pristine looking Predator body.
Hold your position for pickup.
Man, this weapon has a lot of recoil. The
Kristen
Bulldog.
says, should have left the engineers a mystery, and I don't like David. He's my least favorite android. Alien 1, 2, and 3 should have kept it at that. Aliens is still probably my favorite movie of all time, followed closely by by Predator. I really like David. I genuinely like him as a character. I do wish the engineers were something different, though. I wish they weren't intended to be the space jockey, but it does kind of make some of the fan theories of, oh, they're just imitating the space jockeys to be an interesting thing that can be explored in potentially some of the expanded universe.
And who created
So,
them?
yeah, well, not necessarily that, but just, you know, you can go interesting places with this whole them imitating the space jockeys. Then it then opens up their background and this weird mix of their Roman style then conflicting with the Giga-esque style of things. I think there's a lot of interesting things to be done with them if they lean into that aspect. But yeah, as them being the space jockeys doesn't really work. But I mean, that's my own personal opinion there. But right,
Well,
are we done for the night?
yeah, thanks so much for joining us, everybody. It's always nice to hop on these streams and chat with y'all. If you want to chat more, you can always find us on our website, abpgalaxy.net, or on all the major socials, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and of course YouTube, which you know, because you're here. We'll probably be on again next week, I would imagine. I don't think we have any scheduling conflicts, so hope to see you then.
Definitely. I think we're good.
And we'll get
Indeed,
another
thanks.
community play planned as well.
Yep, so we'll get something posted in Discord for that. It's been fun. Thank you, as always, for joining us. We do appreciate everybody coming and nattering with us. Do love to talk nerd.
Indeed. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your Sunday.